At 6:42 a.m., a small-town realtor dialed 911 and whispered 6 words that would destroy an entire community. "My family is gone." His wife was 7 months pregnant. His daughters were teenagers. And the house behind him was spotless. No blood, no forced entry, no signs of a struggle, just silence. And a man who was lying. What happened inside that home was not random. It was not impulsive. And it was not committed by a stranger. This is the story of how a trusted small-town figure, a man who sold safety, stability, and dreams, methodically orchestrated the disappearance and murder of his pregnant wife and 2 daughters, then stood in the center of the search party, crying for their return. Stay with us, because the truth behind this case is colder than anything investigators were prepared to face. Briar Hollow was the kind of town people moved to when they were tired of locking their doors. Tree-lined streets, identical houses, Friday night football, Sunday church. And no one represented that sense of security better than Evan Caldwell. Evan was everywhere. Billboards, bus benches, local TV ads. "Your future starts here," he'd say, smiling beside his wife, Lillian. Lillian Caldwell was warm, reserved, and visibly pregnant with their 4th child. Their daughters, Ava, 16, and Brooke, 14, were well known at school. Bright, opinionated, close. From the outside, the Caldwells didn't just look happy. They looked untouchable. On a Tuesday morning in late October, Evan left the house early. At least, that's what he told police. He said he had a property showing 2 counties away. A routine appointment. Nothing unusual. But when he returned home that evening, something was wrong. The house was dark. No dinner cooking. No music playing. No girls arguing upstairs. Lillian's car was still in the driveway. The doors were locked. The beds were made. By 6:42 p.m., Evan was on the phone with police. They wouldn't just leave. "Evan, something's wrong. They're not answering." Officers arrived expecting panic. Instead, they found something worse. Order. No broken windows. No overturned furniture. No blood. The house smelled faintly of lemon cleaner. Investigators initially suspected a random abduction. A rare but terrifying scenario. Phones were missing. Purses were gone. Shoes were not. It was as if 3 people had simply evaporated. Evan Caldwell did everything right. He cooperated. He cried. He stood beside search teams. He held candlelight vigils in his driveway. He gave interviews, his voice breaking as he begged whoever took his family to bring them home. And the town believed him. Why wouldn't they? Until detectives noticed something small. Evan's timeline didn't quite fit. The property showing Evan claimed to attend never happened. The buyer denied meeting him. Phone records showed no calls. And GPS data placed Evan's car near the family home. During the exact hours he said he was gone. When confronted, Evan adjusted his story. Just slightly. Investigators leaned in. Because lies don't usually collapse all at once. They erode. What police uncovered next stunned even seasoned detectives. Evan Caldwell had been living a double life. Secret email accounts. Dating profiles in neighboring towns. Multiple women, none of whom knew he was married. In one message, Evan wrote, "I feel trapped in a life I didn't choose." In another, referring to the unborn baby. This changes everything. And not in a good way. Lillian, investigators learned, had confided in a coworker weeks earlier. She was scared. According to friends, Evan had changed. He'd become controlling, obsessive, paranoid. He installed new locks, monitored movements, tracked phones. And then there were the insurance policies. Quietly updated. Significantly increased. Just months before the disappearance. Still, suspicion is not proof. And there were still no bodies. The break came from a place Evan knew intimately. An unfinished development. One he had once marketed as a future luxury neighborhood. Remote. Overgrown. Abandoned. A hiker noticed disturbed soil near the tree line. What investigators found confirmed their worst fear. This wasn't a crime of rage. It was a plan. Evidence revealed Evan had used his profession as a weapon. He knew empty properties. Secluded land. Places no one would question him being. The family hadn't been taken by strangers. They had trusted the wrong person. The house wasn't clean by accident. It had been erased. When detectives finally confronted Evan with the evidence, he didn't scream. He didn't cry. He asked one question. "Evan, do you know how hard it is to start over? When everyone expects you to be perfect?" In that moment, the mask slipped. At trial, Briar Hollow learned the truth they never wanted to face. The smiles, the billboards, the family photos, all part of a performance. The trial lasted 3 weeks. Testimony after testimony. Evidence stacked so high the defense never stood a chance. When the verdict came back, guilty on all counts, the courtroom exhaled. For the first time in months, it felt like the story was over. It wasn't. As the judge prepared to read the sentence, Evan Caldwell stood. The room went silent. He didn't ask for mercy. He didn't apologize. He didn't even look at the jury. Instead, he asked permission to speak. The judge hesitated, then nodded. Evan, calm, measured. I just want to say one thing. People leaned forward, expecting remorse. They were wrong. Evan, this didn't happen because I snapped. It didn't happen because of anger. And it didn't happen by accident. A murmur rippled through the courtroom. Evan, I thought about it for months. Every detail, every risk, every step. The prosecutor froze. Family members began to cry. Evan continued, his voice steady, almost instructional. Evan, the house wasn't cleaned afterward. It was prepared beforehand. The alibi wasn't improvised. It was rehearsed. The disappearance wasn't panic. It was timing. The courtroom realized something chilling all at once. This wasn't a confession of guilt. It was a post-mortem of a plan. I knew where no one would look. I knew what would delay you. I knew what people would believe. Because I sold belief for a living. The judge cut him off. But the damage was done. As deputies led Evan away, he turned, not to the court, but to the gallery. And for the first time, he smiled. Investigators would later confirm what that confession implied. This was never a crime of passion. It was never a loss of control. It was a man who believed he was smarter than everyone else. Until one small, overlooked detail unraveled everything. A detail so minor. He never accounted for it. And it cost him his freedom. Forever.